Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And on this very fine morning, I am looking at a story. It's in front of me now. I honestly can't believe what I'm reading. It is beyond parody. It is an amazing headline. I find it so funny. This is the world in which we live in now. That I'm actually laughing at how bad it's getting. But I've got to share this. This is just fantastic. Let's look at this. So, take a look at this headline and revel in it. Enjoy it. Wallow in the woke magnificence. Scottish government workers are told biological sex is a falsehood invented to reinforce white supremacy. You have to be careful with YouTube's algorithms. And then underneath, they have a picture of the sort of grotesque things that often hang from cathedrals. Now, just think, 600 million years of evolution has been invented simply to get to this point in 2022, where a certain form of supremacy can exist. Wow. These people, I mean, honestly, the IQ of a banana. Scottish civil servants have been instructed that biological sex is a falsehood which was set by the medical establishment to reinforce this, and gender oppression as well. The fact that biological sex has been around for 600-700 million years is beside the point. Just think, all those dinosaurs, all those male dinosaurs having sex with the female dinosaurs, and all because of gender oppression. Those huge, giant, massive female anglerfish and the tiny, tiny males that sit on their head and absorb into the skin, leaving just the tiny testicles hanging. That's male oppression of females. Unbelievable, isn't it? The taxpayer funded, because of course it is, LGBTI plus, or as we say LGBTIP plus, because that's the way it's going, internal staff network of the Scottish Government, the biggest waste of time, effort and money ever, is a devolved administration roughly equivalent to a state government in the US. It's basically a parish council. The Scottish Government looks after about 5 million people, which is about half the number of people that are in London. And it's bankrupted the country, giving it the worst drug record in the world, mass unemployment, high taxation. It's a failure in every respect, but then it's socialist. And it's led by an absolute obsessive midget. It was allowed to carry on its Trans 101 course for civil servants during work time, promoting what critics describe as highly political and discriminatory material in comments to The Telegraph. A trans language primer poured particular scorn on so-called TERFs, or trans-exclusionary radical feminists, or, as we like to call them, normal women, suggesting that they should be rechristened as farts, or feminist appropriating ridiculous transphobes. Yeah, I think the real farts here are the mentally ill, the 0.1% of the mentally ill who this group represent. TERFs are transphobes. No, they're not. They are pro-women, not pro-men. That's the difference. They're loosely organised into trans hate groups. No, they're not. They are people who think that women deserve not to be cancelled. And they have an opposition with trans people in sports. That's because trans people keep trying to push themselves into places they shouldn't be, because men should not compete against women. No one's saying that trans people can't have sports. They just have their own sport. Have a trans class. Or, better still, fight with the men, race with the men, box with the men, swim with the men, whatever the sport. But leave women out of it, because it's unfair and unethical. While they hate all trans people, they attack trans women especially aggressively, as trans women challenge TERF's view of biological essentialism. Yeah, because it is essential. Sex is immutable and cannot be changed. These mentally ill people cannot accept that. They cannot accept that they were born men, will live as men, and will die as men, and no matter how many skirts they own, how much makeup they plaster onto their big ugly faces, they're never going to be women. It accuses further, alleging that TERFs have an unhealthy fascination with trans kids and work especially hard to make the lives of trans kids miserable. If you want anyone anyone at all with an obsession with children. It's the left and it's the trans lobby who keep targeting children in schools, on TikTok. You have Disney with its obsession of 50% of characters must be gay and trans, even though they are representing such a tiny minority in real life. So actually Disney are the groomers here, and they are the groomers for the gay, lesbian and mostly trans lobby. When you have groomers getting into your kids at every opportunity here, it's obvious that it's the trans lot and not normal women. Normal women protect children. The groomers and the trans, wow, they definitely aren't protecting children. And we've done many videos where they're targeting children and where children are being forced down one-way streets to a point of no return by these groups. In fact, they all need to be on a register and kept well away from children. In addition to dismissing biological sex as a falsehood, they are mental and, incidentally, wrong, to reinforce the supremacy some ill-defined way. The training took issue with outdated terms of biological men and biological women. Well, it's not outdated, it's actually how it is. Because there is more to being a man and a woman than what clothes you wear. I mean, there is physiology, physiognomy, blood chemistry, biochemistry, DNA. It's, how can I put this? It's so ingrained at the molecular level and cannot be changed at all. It's impossible. And this has been shown by billions of years of evolution to be the way. And these morons and mentally ill people come along in today's day and go, oh, we can change it because we know better than billions of years of evolution. No, you don't. You're nutters. Anyway, /men have /bodies, male bodies, rather, regardless of their trans status. What? What? Oh, they're mad. A slide on the subject declares insisting that men are both biologically and genetically men, regardless of their trans status. No, no, no. This statement seems to be a direct shot across the bows at people like Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling, who's previously mocked the idea that penised individual who penetrates a R should be regarded as a woman. At no stage should they be regarded as a woman. And regardless of what they do to themselves, what they chop off, or what they insert, or what clothes they wear, when they're sentenced for a crime, one has to look, oh, their XY chromosome, into the male jail. End of story. Oh, but things will happen in there. Actions have consequences. Deal with it. Commenting on its training, Susan Smith for the For Women Scotland organisation, which described as farts by the trainers, asked how women could trust that civil servants, potentially including those drafting legislation like gender recognition, have any care for our rights when they're being trained to call us offensive names and we are told we are hate groups. And indeed, and this is the problem, you have these civil servants being trained like this, and then these civil servants are the ones responsible for funding our crisis groups or for funding children's protection in Scotland. So you are actually getting people who are being taught to push an agenda, being taught to radicalise and hate on a group of normal people because of this radicalised agenda, and therefore are likely to cause damage, who are then going to be in a position of authority over children. It's not on. This group of filth and degenerate and corrupt individuals need to be excised from the government, need to be on a register to keep them well away from children, and must never be allowed to have any authority because of their mentally ill status. But we've gone. Britain's Conservative-led central government in London has, until now, proved reluctant to do anything about such apparent indoctrination in the public sector, other than talk about it, if that. And it should be outlawed. But, yeah. So, billions of years of evolution, it is nothing to do with science, biology, or anything. It's simply so that people like that can feel good about looking like people like that. They need psychological help, dearie me. I shall come up and round off. So, what a wonderful story about the mentally ill. But this unbelievable thing about them not accepting billions of years of evolution, that sex is real. I mean, they are mental, but they're also mentally ill. They just cannot accept that they're wrong. And to go around saying these things out loud, I mean, they're adults, for heaven's sake. But I honestly, earnestly think that they need to be removed from any kind of authority. And they definitely need to be on a register to keep them away from children, to protect children. To actually not believe in biological sex is insane. But then these people are insane. And I shall round it there. If you like what you hear and see on the channel, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ring the bell for future notifications. Leave a comment, leave a like, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, and goodbye.